Okay. Hello out there, and what's up with you? This is your boy next door to Ferguson, back at you with another episode of What's Up. I'm thinking about the title of this page, Boy Next Door to Ferguson. These days, I may need to call it the Boy Next Door to Ukraine. All the turmoil and insanity going on over there. But as we all know, this is real and live, and I'm your boy next door to Ferguson, coming at you with my own complaints and ideas and observations as I can share them. And I hope that maybe they touch somebody out there. I'm not trying to change the world, just tell the world that I'm here and hello. All I got to say tonight is that I'm kind of tired of how weak the United States and the NATO countries seem to be in reference to the, I guess, the tragedy and the outrage of what's going on in Ukraine. My only suggestion, if you're out there listening, Biden and all the rest of you politicians that have something to say about this, is that we ought to be fighting this war with the NATO. And we should be fighting by the same rules that Putin has already established. Go right over there where he is or where Ukraine is, and let him know that we are fighting with them for their land. Now, if he wants to escalate it, that'll be on him. But I wouldn't let him dictate what the rules of escalation are, because he is the one that has escalated everything to where it is right now. And nobody's challenging him by saying, okay, well, if you want to do this, we'll do that. And these sanctions, yeah, they're good, but they don't do any good when it comes. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. This is something we've seen before. And if we haven't learned from history that we will not be able to avoid conflict by shrugging our shoulders and saying we're not going to get involved with, that's not going to work. We involved whenever we see another country that's our friend and ally in any kind of way being attacked and taken over by somebody for the simple reason that they want to take it over. So I'm with whoever out there is like-minded about we need to go over there and do what we need to do to help those people. No fly zone, no whatever. Fight back with them, whatever we have to do. Because that's what we're supposed to be about. How can we be about democracy and see a democratic country who has tried to be our ally and tried to join with NATO under attack just for doing that, and not help them, not fight with them to hold on to their country? We honking out if we do that. So I just wanted to hit that topic again because it's all I see on the news all the time. But since we are in the situation that we are in, I just couldn't resist mentioning it, because we have a obligation to our allies, our friends. It's just like if a friend of mine was being attacked in his house, somebody trying to take his house from him, and I know that the only thing that he's doing is trying to hold on to what's his, and I don't help him, I shouldn't be calling myself his friend. So we can't call ourselves the friends of the Ukrainians if we don't help them to hold on to what's theirs. There's another issue that's on my mind too, though, that I'll share while I'm here. The issue of the Bible and so many people that don't see its value or its relevance in the world today as much as it has been since it was written by the many writers who God used to write it. The thing that I have learned recently has opened my eyes even more than they were before to the reality that God is the author of the Bible and Jesus is the subject of it from Genesis to Revelation. And that fact can easily be established if you only look at each story of the Bible, no matter whether it's Old Testament or New. You can see that each story is a revelation of Jesus, his ministry, his life, his mission as he came to earth to carry out his mission. The various things that happened to the nation of Israel, the very beginning of the Bible itself, talking about Adam and Eve and what happened to them in the garden. I could go into detail about it and just pick any story in the Bible. Matter of fact, I'll just pick the one that I just recently read a little bit of and try to reveal some of what was revealed to me when I read it and considered Jesus and the fact that every story in the Bible is a revelation of him and his mission. I was reading about Nehemiah and how he was given the commission to rebuild the wall where Jerusalem was and where Israel had been established. And several chapters that I read were just no way around talking about Jesus. If you look at what they said, it talked about how Jesus was, or the book of Nehemiah talked about Nehemiah and the people that built the wall and the resistance that they had to deal with, the challenges that they had to deal with, and the things that came to be as a result of them building each block on that wall to establish their existence as the nation of Israel. When you look at the fact that Jesus is the rock, each rock that the repairers of the breach who Nehemiah had brought there, put on that wall, was obviously a revelation and a reference to Jesus being the rock. And every rock that we or that they put in that wall was representing Jesus and the fact that he is our wall against any sins that Satan runs after us with and tries to get us to fall into the trap of, and how he wants us to somehow drop our guard and not build our wall with Jesus, with every stone we can find of Jesus, with the word of God that establishes Jesus in our lives. And that's just one snippet of the many stories in the Bible that if we carefully look at each story and look for Jesus in the story, he's there. Now, non-believers, you can ignore that fact, or you probably don't even know what I'm talking about because you haven't considered the Bible to be the Word of God as I have, and as I have been proven by God that it is. So I had to share that too because it was on my mind. Not that I'm a preacher or any representative of Christianity, although I'm sure that's what we all have been called to be once we have accepted Christ and believe that he is God in flesh. It is our duty to share that fact as often as we are given the opportunity. So, given this opportunity, I had no choice but to do what God has called me to do when he established his fact with me. So, as I close and say that I am blessed, and hopefully I blessed you with a view of Jesus in the Word of God that maybe you hadn't considered before, and maybe you'll look at in every or any instance when you look for Jesus to be in the Bible, any story in the Bible. It doesn't matter, like I said, Old Testament, New, doesn't matter. You will see Jesus in that story. So this is your boy, next door to Ferguson, saying God bless and holla.